most of poor people who live in slum, they come from northeast or Isan of Thailand. They move to Bangkok to find job. After rainy seasons come or dry season, they come to Bangkok for find job, and rainy season come again, going up like this for a long time. After repeated drought, they live here longer, and now we can say that people who age of 40, they cannot go back to Isan, they cannot go back north. They live here, they become Bangkokians.
One in 10 people in Thailand are likely to be poor. When you look at the rural areas, those are people who have been farmers most of their lives, have only known one thing. Their education level tends to be lower than some of the urban areas. When you talk about social mobility, a lot of these younger people, they don't have the same ambitions that their parents did. They see what's on TV, they see their peers living in larger cities, living a completely different lifestyle, and they want to move out. Well, the one thing that contributes to their lack of social mobility, or their inability to achieve higher positions, as you say, is education.
They not expecting high in positions because they get, actually they from Isan, they get low education, just compulsory level, at least junior high school. Even now junior high school, they finish, they come find a job.
37 million Thai labor force, 10 million don't even have primary education. The rest barely graduated high school, don't have college education for sure. For example, you don't have the education, you don't have the direction, you don't have the ideals, you don't have the purpose, you're just there.
They not expect to get high education, but I think it's beyond what they think. Fortunately, some Isan may get high education, it's very few.
When I grow up and I be a teacher, I'll like to teach kids to be nice. When I grow up, I'll be a policeman. I'll catch bad guys. When I grow up, I will be an artist. I will paint pictures. When I grow up, I want to work on computers. I love computers.
In Thai, we call it the Ahmad and Pride Society. Ahmad, of course, being the aristocrats, the high-class people, and the Pride is, of course, the mass, the peasant. One group think a certain way, another group think a certain way, and you can say that this is very feudalistic, like maybe in Europe in the Middle Age. You still see it here, Thailand, in the modern day, not as apparent, of course, but it's still there in the mindset, in the attitude of the people. It's very feudalistic.
The richest 20% of Thais control almost 60% of the country's wealth, and the poorest 20% control less than 10% of the wealth.
The focus of the society, the mindset, is towards making money, and we forgot, or we don't pay attention to things like human rights, civil liberty, democracy, and such things. Luxury brands, very popular in Thailand, everybody gotta have them. If you can't have them, just have the fake ones. But luxury here and there, so this superficiality is what defines the modern Thailand today. And with that superficiality, that mindset, that prevents us from looking at the issues, the political problems, the social problems.
The poor people, they get new job only when they get a training, workshop, some kind of occupation, make a bakery, make ice cream. The problem is that after training, they have no money to buy some tools for their job. They have to come to loan shark, money lender in the communities. So that's a problem. They have to escape from those money lender.
Thailand has a considerable ranking when it comes to the corruption index. The World Economic Forum basically said that Thailand is ranked 90th in terms of how difficult it is to start a business. Now, that might have nothing to do with corruption, but it does say something about the bureaucratic or the nature of government. That government is not as responsive as it should be.
What the politicians do is no different than what the people do every day, whether you give 100 baht to a policeman, whether you pay a little tea money to get your child into a good school. All of these things, people do it every day. And if we don't realize that, if we are not aware of that, then this entire corruption will continue, because all we do is screaming at other people saying they're corrupt. We don't look at ourselves, how we contribute to this corruption. The law favors them naturally because everybody knows somebody, everybody is a friend of somebody, everybody has relatives. It's like, I'm of a certain class. Therefore, I may be guilty, but I'm not as guilty if we were equal. Therefore, the law should favor me in a certain way, or therefore I could just throw money at you and you should just forget about it. There are so many reasons, but it's the mindset that, hey, I am of this class. I am entitled to certain privileges. You are dimes a dozen.
It's a human being, human proud. When I get rich, I proud. Because if you want to make people get rid of poverty, you have to change. They are not bad people so far we know, but what about other people?
And it's normal for these people, not the lower class, but for these luxury car drivers to feel a certain, I guess, they should be treated special. You, this lower class, your life is cheaper than mine. So what's the big deal? So what if I run over your little girl, your daughter? True story, by the way. Just take the money. Just take the money. What's the big deal? And this person, the middle class, the high soul, I'm not going to speak for every one of them, but there's a general attitude of not feeling guilty about it. It's just the way it is. Pride dies due to the calluses of a mud. It's the way it's always been for centuries. Life goes on.